Hey guys, Dylan from the Geek Duo here, and today I'll be bringing you my reaction to the first episode of The Book of Boba Fett Season 1. Now, I'll be completely honest, I didn't realize this show was out until episode 3 came out, which was 2 weeks ago today, and then I wasn't sure whether I was going to react to this show because I'm not that big of a Star Wars guy. Like, I've seen all of the live action stuff at least once. I haven't seen most of the Clone Wars or any of Rebels or any of the Bad Batch. I don't know if is that canon? I don't know. I also haven't read any of the comics. I haven't read any of the books. I don't know if they're still canon, if some of them are, some of them aren't. However, the whole expanded universe, supplementary material, all that stuff is handled, I don't know about it. So I'm going to be actually taking notes during these episodes of things that I think may be important from just broader universe that I'm going to, once I'm done reacting, I'm going to pause, look up those notes, and then come back for any interesting things I find, because if I don't understand something, then there's probably at least one other person who may stumble upon this video who also doesn't understand that stuff. And so I like to teach at least one interesting thing about the episode per reaction. But yes, the times on these episodes seem to fluctuate because it's like 38 minutes, 52 minutes, 30 odd minutes, 40 odd. So I don't know if there may be some cutting down of the longer episodes just to make them more uniform, or everything will just be as it is. I'll figure that out once I'm done reacting. Anyway, let's get this first episode started. I forgot to read the synopsis. It simply says, Boba Fett holds court. And it's titled Chapter 1. Yep, let's get it started in 3, 2, 1, go. There we go. And I should still have subtitles on my Disney Plus. Who knows? Now, I have heard that this is a backstory heavy show. Like, it delves into Boba Fett's, what he did in those, how long was it? 5 years between Return of the Jedi and Mandalorian. Might help if I actually had something to take notes with. I swear I used to have... I swear I used to have pens. Okay, so he's in a Bacta tank. I think that's what they're called. Probably still healing from... Would he still be healing from the Sarlacc? Like, you'd think that 5 years' time, those wounds would have like been made permanent. Okay, so we've seen a little Camino, a little bit of Genosha. He's in his armor, so I'm assuming this is the Sarlacc pit. Okay, so this should be new stuff. Well, let's just say this looks utterly pleasant to be in. Stormtrooper, eh? You think that's one of the ones that were sent in A New Hope? Because there weren't any stormtroopers on Jabba's barge. That much I remember. It has been several years since I last watched the original trilogy, so... Okay, first 5 minutes and Sarlacc's already dead. Nice. I wonder how long he was down there. Is this a Jawa's coming to collect his armor? Yes. So here's the thing, even if he wanted to live by the creed of the watch, it would have broken it right there by someone else having taken his armor off. Or was someone else taking it off allowed, so long as you weren't able to stop them? I really need to watch The Mandalorian again, apparently. Also, interesting. Going to be doing this live. Because I noticed my subtitles weren't on the... Hopefully that fixes it. I noticed the subtitles weren't on the screen. Okay. Tusken Raider Worm. I'm still fairly certain I remember the names of the species, because I used to be into Star Wars a lot more than I am, but I guess we'll put that to the test. Oh, they just brought him to their camp, eh? Interesting. The fuck was that thing? The Book of Boba Fett. Stranger in a strange land. Oh, hey, that's the kid one. Or a short one. A bunch of kid ones by the looks of it. One of them just with a sack. So he seems to be reliving these in his Bacta tank. Does everyone in a Bacta tank relive their past? That's interesting to know. I've heard that's a thing that happens with some people with you know those sensory those floating pods where you're in the water with all light and everything blocked out, just you floating there for an hour. I've heard some people it helps to work through their past, so maybe that's what is happening here, while also being used to show us what happened. I think that's a Rhodian, if I'm remembering correctly. Okay, that thing's called a massive, I guess. Well, that answers that question. Is the fact that he didn't attack when trying to escape going to win him any points if he gets captured again? Also, why is one of them so different than the rest? Like, there's the one that seems to be that one seems to be the chief. But there's the one to the right of them that seems different. Either he's going to get his ass handed to him, or he's going to earn their respect in combat. Option 1 it is. Those swings sounded like they have some heft in them. I thought those were just wooden clubs, but maybe they're metal. It did make a shing sound when they pulled it out from their back. Okay, so it seems that's not a regular thing. Unless he also stopped using the Bacta tank for a while. That was an interesting bracelet. You twist it and it automatically connects. Neat. Aquilish. Okay, so that's the name of that creature. I've seen several of them. Trandoshans are the lizard ones. Daimyo. May you never leave, Mos Espa. And a Twi'lek. Okay. Meh equals quick death. Okay, that wasn't said to the gathering of the aliens at the table from the trailer. You do realize you're standing on a trapdoor, mate. You know I can hear you guys. Oh. You gave us the gift of a heartfelt welcome. We give you the gift of leaving with your life. That's not surprising. Hey, the pig guys. Really getting every species. We just really like to serve people. That's like the whole thing of our species is just serving people. Of course. And we'll be loyal to whoever kills you. Is that a modified Boston Dynamics dog? It sounds like the Cantina tune. It makes sense, they're in a cantina. Maybe not. More Twi'leks. Is it Twi'lek or Twi'lek? Twi'lek. I feel like that's a heavily contested way to pronounce things. No, they had a bath before we left. Those looked very plastic. I know they probably were just because of the props and all that, but normally they can make them seem a bit more metal-like. Those definitely look like some... Where are the Gamorreans? Like, you know, being loyal as bodyguards usually means being there to protect in events like this. Ha! Well, that didn't work out for you, did... Oh, fucking Jawas. At least they don't seem to be, after the helmet. Hey, Fennec, can I interest you in some metal armor? It seems very good against this electric weapon for some reason. Maybe not. Aren't you wearing a jetpack? Oh, yeah, there they are. I don't know why that took me so long to react. They probably just found a street vendor or something. Decided to have a quick bite to eat. I mean, oh. Well, that guy's definitely dead. There's nothing left. And remember, no disintegrations. I know it wasn't really a disintegration, but parkour. 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 I guess if you're going to have parkour in Star Wars, Tatooine seems like the place to have it. With Mos Espa and Mos Eisley both being a cluster of similarly heighted buildings. Nice. I don't know if Ming-Na Wen does her own stunts or if that's someone else doing it, but I know she has some, like, fight martial arts training, doesn't she? So maybe she does the fights and someone else does the... You only need one of them. She seemed to have the same idea. What I'm saying is it wouldn't really surprise me if to find out that she was the one doing some of those stunts. Okay, Gamorreans know how to work a Bacta tank. That is a little surprising. Or maybe he's just, as they were carrying him, he's like, just lay me down, put the thing in my mouth, and close the lid. That's all you need to do. The creature's freaky looking. What was it called? A massive? Sort of like a mixture between a frog and a dog, but with also reptile instead of the amphibian skin, I guess. Really? You stood on his ankle chain. Just... Is it? No. Is it? They are moisture farmers. Is this Lars and Baru's place? That was their names, right? Luke's aunt and uncle? I don't think it exactly matches, but they are moisture farmers, so they're in a similar spot on Tatooine. What, you're gonna rub them now that... No? Okay. What's the point in showing them that? if you were just going to lead them away. Ah, so that's why you brought them to this area. Because if moisture farmers are there, then there must be water in the area. It's freaky looking, but I think I want one. He's really got some scarring from that. I don't know if it's because of being out in the desert for so long without protection, or I'm thirsty. Or if it's from the Sarlacc, but no, he had his helmet on, so it shouldn't be from the Sarlacc, should it? You just lost your drinking privilege by doing that. Hey, well, the kid's asleep. You can escape. You took the dog out before. I don't speak Rhodian anyway. You think it'd be easy to dig with fingers that long and flexible? That's a creature. That is an alive creature. Somewhat deserved, but you're also linked to... Yeah, you're linked to Boba, so... That's probably not... How many arms do you have? Prince Goro? 1980s Prince Goro? That thing better survive. I like that thing. That guy can die. He's useless, but... Oh, fuck. Yeah, that's a problem with fighting something with so many arms. Oh, you've got a centaur mode as well. It's a interesting creature. Oh, there's spikes on that chain too, so that's probably cutting as well as choking. Yeah, I saved your life. Now give me some water. He's untied now. He actually went back. I guess without them he wouldn't really survive for long, but he seems to know the general direction of a settlement, so maybe he could have. I don't know why I'm acting like I don't know that he stays and learns some things from the Tusken Raiders, because we know he was wearing Tusken garbs when he found Fennec, and he has one of their weapons, so... Here. You've earned this. I know the kid's bullshitting when he said he took the creature down. And okay, so that seems to be the end of the first episode. Is there anything in the credits? No, just a bunch of concept art. I might let the concept art play through, because it's always interesting to see this stuff. See how it differs from the actual episodes and that. Like that, apparently the shields were meant to be blue and more square, with less height. Also, those assassins seem to have different masks. Ooh, is that what Boba's body's meant to look like under that white cloth? Or was his... maybe his shirt was torn up. No, it was meant to be in just the loincloth, so he is meant to be heavily scarred from, I assume, the Sarlacc. Interesting. Okay, and that seems to be everything. So, like I said, that was an interesting first episode. I'm not sure how I feel about this episode, like this series so far. Like, this is coming off of The Mandalorian, which is a show I really liked. This is Boba Fett as its main character, who I really like, and Fennec, who I absolutely love. Plus, she's played by Ming-Na Wen, who I absolutely love. But it's just, I'm not sure how I feel about, because the majority of that episode seemed to be flashbacks. Like, there was the bit at the start with the Sarlacc and being found by the Tusken Raiders. Yeah, that's fine. Up to his first escape and being captured again. Yeah, okay, that's fine. However, that is also the first 12 minutes of the episode. Then we get 13 more minutes of present day, and then the rest is almost another 10 minutes of backstory. So 2/3 of this episode was backstory. And I've made it quite clear in other reactions that it's very hard to do a non-linear story that I see as good. I know that it's a big thing. A lot of people like that storytelling. It gives a lot more creative freedom with telling the stories and everything. But I am very picky when it comes to stories like that. And, well, if they're going to be showing so much, then it should really either be interspersed between the present day, or it should be flashbacks and then with a chunk of present day either at the start or at the end, just to keep it more cohesively non-linear, if that makes sense. But this show may prove me wrong and be actually change my mind about non-linear structures, because like the first season of The Witcher, with its separate timelines and all that, now of course I didn't pick up on that until like, what was it? I think it was the one where you saw the king as a child after seeing him as an old man. I think that was when it really clicked for me. But yeah, it's separate timelines there, with its final episode starting just before the first episode. I really liked that show, so maybe this show will be like that. Now, I'm gonna pause this recording. I've made 2, 4, 6, 8 notes that I'm going to look up, and I'll be back once I've looked at them. And we're back. Okay, so of the things that I wrote notes for, the Rhodian was confirmed, so I crossed that one off. Massive. I wasn't sure if we'd seen them in a Star Wars thing before. Live action Star Wars, I mean. Turns out we had. They showed up in Attack of the Clones on Geonosis. So apparently they're native there as well. Seems any desert planet they're native to. There wasn't anything I could find for that worm thing that the Tusken Raiders fed to Boba Fett, nor was there any name given for the six-limbed creature. Boston Dynamics confirmed that was actually their dogs that was in the episode, so I'm glad I got that right. They moved like a Boston Dynamics thing. Daimyo, known as the largest and most powerful landholding magnates, businessmen in Japan, 10th century to mid 19th century. So basically a businessman who was able to influence the rest of their area because of how much wealth and power they had. Major Domo is the chief steward of a large household. That's basically all it had for that. And there was one more thing that I wanted to find, and I'm going to thank the YouTube channel Finding the Force for actually putting this together for me, so I didn't have to do the comparison myself. But that video from Patton Oswalt was in 2013, apparently, from Parks and Recreations. Do you think the creator of this episode, whether it be Robert Rodriguez or Jon Favreau, either of them saw that and thought, hey, we should put a nod or this exact thing into this episode to show how he escaped the Sarlacc pit? Like, he very easily could have just flown out of the Sarlacc, because I'm assuming he killed it with all that fire and the gas that would have been in that thing's stomach, so probably created a massive explosion that killed it, so he could have just flown out of it. So the fact that they did it almost beat for beat what Patton Oswalt said, it had to be a knowing reference to that. But yes, that's all the things I had for this episode. Oh wait, there was also the pronunciation of Twi'lek. Apparently Twi'lek or Twi'lek are both said throughout canon. Specifically, it cited Rebels as saying both of them. So apparently either of those are accepted. So it is Twi'lek or Twi'lek. But that's all I have for this episode. I will be back tomorrow with episode 2 because I'm wanting to get these out one a day, with the 6th episode being dropped the day it releases. So if I release this now, well, actually I'm releasing it in 2 days so that it can be one a day, and also gives me backlog in case I can't record one of those days. But yes, I'll be back tomorrow at the same time with episode 2. I'll catch you in the next one.